Salute and good afternoon, evening, day, whatever it is for y'all in the world.
I salute you too. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Soaps and Sass. I am Mama Sass.
And I'm Baby Sass. And today is, the day of this recording is Friday. The day you guys will be listening to it will be whatever day it is.
Okay, I guess that needed to be said.
Well, no, I had another thought and I just ended up saying it was Friday.
Okay, all right. Well, this is episode 30.
That's probably what I was going to say. It's the episode.
It's episode 30 for the week of August 11th to 15th. This week had a little bit of pepper sauce in it.
A little bit.
Yeah, but it was like Frank's Red Hot. It wasn't no proper spicy pepper sauce.
No.
But anyhow, let's get to it. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Here is your recap. Anna warns Jason. That's on Monday. And she's basically telling him, I believe, to get over to Croatia. Although that may have been later in the week. But anyway, that's what it says. Jocelyn and Vaughn check into the 5 puppies, which was adorbs. Oh my gosh, they were so cute. Brett is threatened. Well, okay, Pascal. If Pascal can be considered a threat, whatevs.
Oh, Britt. I heard Brett. I was like, who the hell's Brett?
Oh, sorry. Brit. Should I do this with my British accent? Then we'll be clearer.
Come to her.
Alexis ponders a legal maneuver. Basically, she consults with Molly about getting custody or fighting for custody of Scout.
As she should.
And Tracy is disappointed in Cody because she found out Cody is gigoloing it up.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, he is. Well, maybe not. I guess it's because it's one person. So he's escorting it up then. But anyway, on Tuesday, Drew encounters Willow at the hospital where he tells her he's going to help her. And she's like, please don't. Jason summons Alexis because Danny inadvertently kidnapped his sister, if such a thing could be said. Carly confronts Marco. Don't hurt my brother. If you play him with his feelings, let him go. Chase is ordered to make an arrest. Well, I think that you understand what happened there. And Emma is determined. She's going after Dalton. She don't care what her granny says. On Wednesday, Britt is reprimanded because, she's all of 4 years old. Anna demands intel from Brennan. She wants to know what's happening in Croatia with Joss and Vaughn. Willow briefs Elizabeth because Willow lost her temper. And yeah, that was interesting. Rocco reassures Gio, basically that he's fine. He has no beef with Brooke. And so don't let Gio's beef be about Rocco because he's good. And Drew makes a stunning declaration. We'll come to that. This man. On Thursday, Dante and Brooklyn strategize, basically ways to reconnect with Gio. Michael encourages Gio, telling him, listen, you see that stone face look on your face? If you don't want your face to stick like that, make peace with your parents. Stella urges Kai to fight for Trina. I think that was probably the other way around. Did Stella talk to... No, I don't think Stella spoke to Kai this week.
No.
Oh, she did. She did, after speaking to Trina. After speaking to Trina, Stella urged Kai to fight for Trina. Okay. Chase confides in Willow.
A bit too much.
Yes, they're talking about the adoption and where they're at with that. And Molly tries to reason with Drew after his stunning declaration the day before. It didn't go well. Jason is a man on a mission. He's in Croatia. Isaiah asks Felicia for advice. Her response, mind your business. I was trying to think of Ashley and Fresh Prince. Mind your business. Just mind your business. Anyway, Curtis is shaken. I can only assume it's because Portia came in looking supposedly stunning. I didn't care for it. It could be he's shaken by his interaction with Jordan.
I was gonna
Either way. Drew manipulates Michael. Unfortunately, that move was too successful. I was so annoyed.
And it actually makes more sense now, because I saw that yesterday and said, what do you...
Yeah, exactly. And Jocelyn is frustrated because Vaughn is sending her home so that she don't get recognized by Britt. So, that's basically the recap. I'm looking at the list of things, because I kind of want to do this in a particular order so that it makes sense. Where do we want to start? Let me see. Okay, well, why don't we start with Drew, and this is kind of my, sorry, I'm having a moment because it's like, do we tell the Drew story or do we do the categories? Yum.
Well, maybe doing the Drew stories will lead to...
Yeah, because Drew had a lot of the story this week.
He did.
So...
As infuriatingly annoying as that is.
Indeed. Okay, so there's two 2 stories.
Well,
Let's go with the quick one.
Okay, sure.
So, apparently, Scout has been calling Danny on the regular. She's lonely. She misses her brothers. Here's a surprise. Who's shocked by this? Any hands? Any hands? Bueller? No hands?
If you're gonna do it right.
So, in any case, there's no hands. Nobody's surprised by this.
No.
Scout is lonely. She wants to see her brothers. Now, Danny,
being the awesome brother he is,
when she says she wants to go to the house and see the family, he takes her from camp at Lila's kids, neglects to sign her out,
it's like awesome
and brings
brother,
her back to the house.
Does not think things fully through.
Exactly. Jason shows up, finds Scout in the house
because Danny called him,
and Jason's like, "What's happening here? Oh, mercy me!"
I love how it was like, "Hi, sweetie, Danny." Explanation,
right? And Jason's eyes are a little bit big for Jason because he's just like, "Well, fiddle dee dee, this is not going to go well."
No.
So he's like, "Okay, well, we got to call her dad." And so what do we all do? We listen to the 12-year-old. No, please don't call my dad. He's not going to let me stay. Not sure why anybody thought this was a plan, but you know what? If you got to drive a plot point, okay.
Right,
so instead, Jason calls Alexis. Alexis comes over, sees Scout, and is just like, "Well, fiddle dee dee, this is gonna be a problem." But, you know, Scout's like, "I miss you guys, I miss my brothers, I miss the horses, I want to see Cody, I miss Grandma Monica, I miss my bed, I miss the whole world.
I basically miss everything that doesn't involve my dad."
Right? And so Alexis is talking to her, blah, blah, blah. In the meantime, across town, 2 minutes later, Drew gets a phone call from the camp. His kid is missing. But
see, here's the thing. Drew was at the hospital talking to Willow, trying to...
I'm not even gonna...
Ow.
But okay, go on. Go ahead. Why am I censoring you?
And really, this kind of does tie in. But anyway...
Does it?
A little bit, because it's going to come back later. But
they're separate storylines, but okay, go ahead.
But anyway, so Drew is at the hospital, and he's like, "Oh, Willow, I'm so glad I found you." And Willow's like, "At my job, where I'm likely to be?" Anyway, so he's trying to convince Willow to, you know, talk to him and you know, let her know that he's trying to help her get her kids back. And she's like, "Step off. I got it. I don't want you. I don't want your help." And while this is going on, he gets the phone call that took 2 million years to happen. Just like something else that took 2 million years.
Well, you know, it's not like they can do split screen and show you things happening in parallel. So you just have to assume these things are happening simultaneously.
Right. But but you know, as someone who, you know, works with kids, but also little kids, it's like you would think you would be constantly keeping an eye out and, like, you know, like, okay, counting your children.
Right.
Anyway, so he finally gets the phone call being like, your child missing. We don't know where she went." And Drew freaks out, and he's like...
As he should.
He has every right to.
Yes.
And then proceeds to go on the manhunt for her.
Right. So, we find out that he actually went to the camp, interrogated some of the kids, probably terrorized them.
I think he interrogated... No, I think he went to the head director or whatever. I was like, "How the hell did you lose my kid?" or whatever, whatever. But he heard,
I'm sure that's exactly
and then like,
what
well, we were asked her friends who she hangs out with, and they're like, "Oh, they said she was with her brother," and yeah. So I think that's because
what?
I'm like, again,
they could have phoned him while he was on the road. He needed to go to the camp. Right. But anyway, so he shows up at the queues, and fast forwarding, you know, he lays into them about them not calling him immediately when Scout showed up there, which I think is a fair point. However, again, for all he knows, they could have just now found out she was there. But let's leave that aside for the moment, because that's real life logic, I suppose. He decides that he's going to have Danny arrested. Which point,
good thing Chase is there.
Jaws drop. Jaws drop. Jason's like, "I don't think so."
It's like, "The hell you will."
And Drew's like, "Oh, okay, well, if you want to intervene, happy to have you arrested too for obstructing justice." So, Chase is like, "Listen, sir, we're not arresting anybody. Your kid is with her family. She chose to go with her family. They didn't come and yes, they came and get her, but it was her decision. It was at her request that they went and got her. She's fine. You know where she was. You know she wasn't in any danger, although Drew tried to make an argument, which, again, wasn't an unreasonable argument. But anyway.
Right? And even Alexis is like, the judge is going to see the situation and not is like, what are we here for?
Yeah.
Get out my courtroom.
Alexis is also like, give your head a shake. Anyway, so Chase says, I'll speak to Danny. Which was
but the best I can do is give him a warning. Like, I'm not arresting the kid.
And I should actually have that in my comedy moment of the week. The talking to that Chase gives Danny. Do you think maybe you made a mistake here, kid? Yeah, I can see how I made a mistake. Okay, don't do it again. All right. And then Chase goes about his business, basically. Alexis tries to make a case. You know, it's like, your daughter's crying out for help. She's lonely. She wants to see her brothers. You're in here talking about having her brother arrested. You're going to make her feel guilty, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, ultimately, the conversation devolves. Drew mentions Sam and says, you know, Sam would want blah, 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 blah. And Alexis is like, actually, you're wrong. This is what Sam would want. And he goes, well, you know what? Doesn't even matter because Sam ain't here. She dead. And I was like...
Yeah, and Alexis said, okay, since we're invoking the name of my daughter and you're the one who evoked it, I gave him basically a very polite but attitude-filled cuss out.
Yes, she did. And so, ultimately, Drew decided that since Sam is no longer there and he had basically all rights and responsibilities, they were no longer allowed to see Scout. He was going to cut her off entirely from her family. He's picking her up and moving her to D.C., which is what Alexis had been consulting with Molly about. It's like, how do we prevent this?
Good
blah,
job.
blah,
blah. Lead your 12-year-old daughter to depression. Good job.
Indeed. Molly tried to make it a case for it the next day. Drew was like, so sorry, your mother screwed up.
And if only you had come to me 24 hours before. Yeah,
but we're beyond that, so no, she's not going to see none of y'all's. Peace out. So that's that side of the Drew story.
Right, let's see how that goes now that Molly's like, oh, hell no, we're going to fight now.
On the other side of the Drew story, as Baby Sass mentioned, Drew was at the hospital talking to Willow, so I won't go through all of that again. But basically, as she said, they got into a row. But when he showed up, Lucas tried to intervene because Willow was clearly looking uncomfortable. So Lucas tried to intervene, and Willow's like, thanks for the save, but I got this. I got to handle my own business. Cool, fine. So Lucas leaves. Willow handles her business. Although she said, you know, because she, as Baby Sass said, she overheard the conversation about Scout being missing and said, you know, let me know when you find her, etc., etc. Which you think he would have used as a way to get back in. We didn't see that, so I don't know if that's still to come.
Probably not.
But anyways, so Willow goes to thank Lucas, and they end up in a screaming match.
Don't they ever?
And Lucas basically tells Willow, you know what? You keep talking about how you try to put your life back together. When you see Drew, you should run screaming the other way, not entertain conversation and whatever the hell it is you're doing. You look like a drug addict. You can't go on without your fix of Drew. And you got all these people putting their
neck out for you,
reputations on the line for you, and you just doing dirt. Like, figure it out, little girl. Pull your head out from
behind
the sand, and you know, straighten up and fly right. And Willow is like, who the heck are you? And clocks him. But she gives him one good slap. Slapped him so hard it knocked the breath out of him. And the biggest gasp I've ever heard. I was like, man alive. Which Marco witnessed, conveniently.
We knew somebody was.
Yep. Willow realizes what she's done. She flees the scene. She tells, I
shall not be caught in the scene of the crime.
She tells Elizabeth what's happened and what she's done. And Elizabeth's like, okay,
leave,
go home. And Willow's like, no, I'm calm now, blah, blah, blah. And Elizabeth's like, I'm not telling you this as your friend. I'm telling you this as your boss and head nurse. Pack your stuff, go home. I'll see what I can do with Lucas. Anyway, so Willow's off for 2 days. So that happened. The other Drew story. Freaking Drew. Oh my goodness. This guy.
This story needs to end quick because seriously, I'm starting to get sick of it.
It's like, I feel bad sitting here wishing for a character's demise.
Yeah.
But really, he needs to be shot. Somebody just shoot him. Poison him, whatever. Like, get him off the canvas. I'm so sick of seeing him But I don't imagine that's what's happening. But
No.
I mean, as far as villains go, I was debating if I was gonna say this now or later. As far as villains go, Drew keeps delivering, but it's not the kind of villainy I want.
No.
Like, this is emotional manipulation villainy,
Yep.
and I don't like it.
None of us do.
It's a great story, though. It's a great story, and you know, there's people like that in real life, so I guess that's what makes it all the more horrific in a manner of speaking. But
Okay.
you know, I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here as I'm speaking, trying to think. Do I prefer Drew's villainy over what Sidwell is doing, for example, or what Cyrus was doing? And I think
no, because at least they, from the jump, you knew they were villains, and you knew they were gonna play dirt. With Drew, he didn't start out as a villain. He started out as a somewhat good guy,
but he went to Pentonville,
right? And we're still like, who knocked the wire? No, we're like, who knocked the wire loose in your head when you got beat up? Because ever since you got out, you have been so different, and like the change in which you have now had is not fun because it's too real compared to just soap opera villainy. It's like people actually go through this, and that is
But and this is what I'm debating in my head. It's like, which do I prefer? And I'm thinking about it, and you know what? I think okay. So overall, I prefer the Drew villainy to the Sidwell or Cyrus villainy because I'm bored. Most of the time when they were on, I was bored, right? And so it just occurred to me, it's like it's similar to Valentine, and when he was doing his wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
But I cared about Valentine. Valentine had a human side that would pop out and made him more relatable. There's nothing about Drew that's relatable right now. It's been a long time since there's been anything about Drew that was relatable. So I think the best villains you can kind of cheer for a little bit. I can't do it. I can't. I don't want to. It's just like, get rid of this guy.
No, and I hear that. And like, I agree. The best villains are the relatable ones, or the ones you feel for. Yeah. Because it's like, you're like, oh, what you're doing is such dirt, but my heart goes out for you.
Exactly.
And also, sometimes the best villains are the ones who are doing bad things for the right reasons.
Well, this is it. Even Cyrus, towards the end, as much as I didn't want to see him on my screen, I was just like, okay, this story's so over. But I felt for him because he was somebody who just wanted to be loved. And also, he kept trying to build that bond with his sister.
Right.
Kept trying to build that bond with his brother, and they just wouldn't let him forget his past.
Right.
And then he just, had a misapplication of biblical principles.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. Like, what Cyrus is doing in the end, like, he didn't want people who were, like, dying.
Suffering,
like, suffering to be alone. So, like, he was doing a good thing, but his means and method were just wrong.
What exactly?
It's like, yes, okay, yes, you see them suffering, but to take it upon yourself to end that suffering is not okay. And like, yes, it's one thing if they're still, it's not just, I'm not justifying his actions, but it's more understandable to do it to someone who, like Lulu, has been in a coma for 4 years, or to someone who's like, they're put in hospice, like they have cancer, they're really sick, and or Michael when he was in the burn unit is like they're in a lot of pain. I can understand, but for someone like Sam who was donating her part of her liver,
she got in the way of his plan.
Got in the way, right? But
as
it's like
did Dex,
right?
As did Jocelyn,
right? But these people weren't suffering the way that that others that he had initially started to take out were suffering. So it's just like, yeah, it's like, okay, I can see where you started and how you got there, and I can understand your reasoning, but you started to dwindle and fall off the path quickly.
Yeah, with Drew, it's just like I believe there's an adage, there's like power corrupts completely or something like this.
Yeah,
like there's no rhyme or reason. It's like, what is it that you have against Jason? Why has that extended to Sunny? Why are you now extending this to Alexis and all and sundry? Okay, what's your problem? Well, what's your problem with Michael? I can sort of see your problem. If you were going after Nina with a vengeance like this, if you were going after Portia with a vengeance, I can see it, because they drugged you, but you did dirt, but they drugged you. I get it. I don't know what Jason did to you, unless you want to count the beating, but you kind of started it.
Like, you know what you did. You kissed your nephew's wife, and he knew about it. So yeah, expect to get your ass beat.
I'm just saying. But he had it in for Jason
right,
before that.
It's not
Why?
like it's not like Jason. Well, I don't even know if Jason. No, he wasn't. He wasn't on the scene at the time. But it's not like, you and Jason. You were on the scene. Oscar was alive, and Jason was after a target for Sonny, and Oscar just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And took a shot and took Oscar out, and it's like, okay, now I have reason to hate you. You killed my son. Yes, it was an accident, but you killed my son. That is a reason to have it out for Sonny.
That's what I'm saying.
Out for Jason.
What is the source of all this animosity?
Is it because everyone thought you were Jason and you have his memories in your head? Like, what?
Right?
Donne explanation, s'il vous plaît.
And if that's the case, then why not use all your memories to get Jason arrested? Because the evidence is in your head. So this is what I'm saying. I don't understand what's the basis of that animosity.
I think it's more that you can't prove it, or unless Jason, screwed up, and rather than disintegrating a gun, he buried it in. Buried it in the park. And, like, unless you can prove that, it's like, yeah, you can go to the cops and be like, in 2012, Jason did ABC XYZ, and he was in this location taking out this target. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, they're gonna be like, okay, where's the proof?
So give me a basis for the animosity. If it's just that he grew up in a Quartermain mansion and you grew up
in foster care,
right, with Franco. Oh, give me something, because this is just too out of control for no real reason, and it's got to be more than something changed when you're in Pentonville. Tell me what changed, and if folks know what happened and I'm just forgetting, let us know in the comments. All right, that being said, and I figure we probably burned about 20 minutes there. Maybe we should go into some of the categories and flesh out some of the other points. Okay, so with respect to the what had me hot, since we're talking about Drew, would you like to share yours?
Yeah, my had me hot is the fact that Drew is messing with people's children. Again! What? It's like, okay, you're in the Metro Court. You're having a meeting with Martin. Like, Tracy and Stella are minding their own business. Michael is with his son minding his business, and then proceeds to ask Tracy to have a conversation. One, I will say this, Michael, Drew is in the room, and you know what he did to Wiley after what Wiley told you, so why you're not keeping an eye on Drew and Wiley to make sure they do not interact, I don't know. Like, any parent, honestly, should be like, if you're stepping away from your kid, and you're having a conversation with someone else, I'm pretty sure you're constantly looking at your kid and glancing back and forth between the person you're talking to and your kid to make sure your kid don't get snatched up.
Mm-hmm.
Or even, you took, Michael said, hey, Stella, I'm going to steal Tracy for a second. You could say, hey, Stella, while I'm taking Tracy, can you sit with Wiley and keep him company? You could have done that, which would have prevented all of this.
Yep.
But you didn't, and that is just writing. But, again, Drew messing with people's children. He sees an opportunity because Wiley's sitting by himself enjoying his ice cream, and he's like, I'm gonna go mess with my great nephew, and proceeds to get up, go talk to Wiley, and tell Wiley basically that Willow misses Wiley and wants to see him, and rather than Stella, seeing this and saying, Drew, or hey Wiley, I think we should take our ice cream somewhere else or whatever, you get up and you go tell Michael and might have Michael intervene, and Michael's just like, leave my son alone. Wiley, can you go with your Aunt Tracy and get a popsicle or whatever. Like, just basically had me hot is Drew's messing with this child again, and I'm really sad that Wiley, after what happened, isn't freaking out, because I really hoped he would, and he did not be like, I don't want to talk to you after the hospital, or I shouldn't be talking to you, or, get up and say, Dad, Uncle Drew's trying to talk to me, and I don't want to after what happened, or
that's what I would have liked to see.
He is a kid, and after incidences like what Drew said or did, is like, kids are very much like, this person did something that made me very uncomfortable, and I don't want to be around them.
Yeah,
So why they didn't do that is bugged me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I would have really liked to see, like you said, Wiley to be upset or show fear or something like that, because he now knows, or I think he knows, that Drew is not a good guy. I also would have really liked for Michael to flip the script. If Wiley's not going to show fear, I would have liked for Michael to flip the script on Drew and be like, yeah, but you know what, Wiley? Your Uncle Drew also said that I didn't want you. And that's not true, right? And, what's Drew going to say to that? What's Drew going to say to that, right? And then you're reaffirming, although I don't know if that's necessarily the right play, but reaffirming to your child that this person's a liar. Don't trust them.
Right, or just they're shady. Don't trust them. Like they're trying to manipulate you, kind of thing.
Exactly. Kind of help the child think for himself, but it's a little bit influential at the same time. But anyways,
right. And still, I'm just like, this kid is 9. Why is he still talking like he's a 6-year-old? I'm sorry. I love Wiley. Do not get me wrong, but why they still have this kid talking like a 6-year-old is bugging me. They've confirmed he is 9. Like, what the France?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I won't speculate. I'm gonna leave that at that. Since we're talking about what had me hot, I'm gonna chime in, and this was something I don't know that anybody saw coming.
Okay.
Because it was very quick. So Colette was back on the scene this week.
Oh, yes.
And we discovered Colette's a double agent or
something.
Which
was so funny because you had been like, I wonder what happened to Colette. And then there she is.
Yeah, that's true. I did say that last week or whatever.
You have a tendency to just invoke names and characters pop up.
Hey, listen.
How about you invoke Lucky's name? I'd love for him to pop back up again.
I don't. So, but sure. I wonder what happened to Lucky. Good enough?
Yes, thank you.
So Colette is back and she was giving Brennan grief about sending Jocelyn over to Croatia. But yeah, then she places a call to Pascal where she informs him that there's two WSB agents and gives them their names and everything. And Pascal's like, excuse me? But what vexed me about this is, you recall when Colette first came on the scene, I looked her up.
You did.
And the actress is part French, or lived in France for part of her life. Her French was so bad.
It also bugged me that she was having...
Oh my goodness. Now, she's part Latina as well. So her pronunciations were more Latina
than French.
Because she was talking about they're using the names, and
it's like,
what you say is... Yeah, she goes le nom and pronouncing the M, which you don't in French.
No. I felt like she was adding an E at the end of that too.
Practically. It's garden gnome? What are you talking about? So she's Parisian French. And then on the flip side, you've got Pascal, or Marc Forget, who is a Quebecer. And so the French pronunciations are very different, but this actor was sounding very Parisian to me from the beginning of the week. So I was surprised that he was actually a Quebecer. And actually, his French was flawless. Actually, I'm sorry.
It's probably one of those situations where it's like, compared to you and Auntie Sass, where Auntie Sass, when she speaks French, sounds very Parisian compared to you, who sounds very Quebecois.
Yes.
So it might just be that. Even though he's Quebecois, his French at least might sound more Parisian.
Yeah, well, like I said, I looked him up as well, and I saw some of his reels on the internet. So he does a Quebecer accent, but he can also obviously do Parisian. Right. So that was just, as a French speaker, that irritated me. It's like, come on. Right. Colette.
And it also bugged me.
Especially since your name is Colette. One would think you would be able to speak French properly.
Right. It also did bug me that while she was talking with Brennan, her accent was slipping.
Yeah, her accent kept slipping.
She would end sentences and it's like, why are you sounding American? Like, what is happening?
That's weird.
Like, have you just been off the scene for a while that you just need to practice and get back
into character? Yeah, stay in character all day.
Maybe you need to talk with Pascal. Work on that French accent.
Oui, parler en français un peu plus, là.
Wow.
Oh. All right, so that was what had us hot. Let's talk about... Who called for that? What did you do that for?
I'm going to say this to Stella. Who called for you to be interfering with your niece and her ex-boyfriend? Because we don't want that. And even your nephew said, stay out of it. So,
yes, indeed.
How about you listen? Stay out of it.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
It looks like they're revisiting that because Trina did kind of throw him a lifeline, like, yeah, thanks for the offer of iced tea, but I don't want any.
We don't want that.
We don't want that.
No, just bring back Spencer.
Although speaking of Kai, and this is the last I want to speak of him today, we'll give him a little bit of props of advocating on Scout's behalf, talking about taking her off to DC and away from the family. That was good. I thought for a minute you would sway Drew. Didn't work.
No.
But nice try.
I don't think anybody can sway Drew.
No.
See, this is where I'm like, Samantha, come back so you can just pop into his dreams and be like, are you dumb or are you stupid? How dare you try to take my child away from her family? Hell to the no. I will haunt you until the day you die if you do it. Like, I know I went all black on that, but Samantha, can you know.
I was like, suddenly Samantha sounded like Stella. What is going on?
I mean.
All right.
Whatever needs to be done.
Since you are so funny, shall we talk about the comedy moment of the week? Or do you want to go with the Kessikake? Or make it make sense?
I don't even think I had a Kessikake.
That's okay. I have. So go with your comedy moment of the week then.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mom doesn't think this is a very comedic moment. But I just think it was funny how Jason shows up at the resort and is talking to Pascal being like, I would like to book a boat for some scuba diving tomorrow. And Pascal's like, yes, let's see what I can do, as he's tapping on his tablet. And in the distance, not very far in the distance, but in the distance, comes Britt just walking by and looks over and she's like, oh, sugar honey iced tea. And Jason's like, I knew I wasn't seeing things. And she's like, I'm screwed. And I just found it funny because they're just like, yeah,
it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. So,
and who knows? Maybe Britt will be like, get me out of here.
Absolutely. My comedy of the rewind.
Words.
Let's try that again.
Words.
Comedy moment of the week, also at the resort, but it's the assassin going after Vaughn. This gave me the giggles because it made me think of Brick in the hospital.
Oh my goodness!
When the assassin was trying to kill Sonny, and how Brick came in so smooth with that pistol just at his hip, and then barely moved his arm, and then pew pew. Whereas this assassin telegraphed his moves so hard.
He did.
So hard. So Vaughn was able to kind of take him out. I'm not sure how after all that, because really, writers, this is also kind of make it make sense. They're struggling over a gun. How in the world, Vaughn, did the assassin suddenly get to a garrote to get it around your throat when you two were on the floor a scene before? This is almost like Valentine and Brennan in Germany. Like, how did he get the jump on you? I don't understand what happened. My man's got a garrote on you. And then Joss comes in, and Joss is trying to get the shot off. She manages to get the gun, and she's trying to get the shot off. We know she shot something. Don't know what she shot.
What really bugs me from that is the fact
maybe it's what Patty shot.
Oh god.
Anyway, go on.
But what really bugs me with that is like Jocelyn's holding the gun, and I don't know like how this silencer was sitting on this gun because it clearly wasn't on the barrel properly. Because it was like you have the gun, and then the silencer's kind of like drooping, so she has to like compensate. Like,
was it?
It was like it was
notice.
Like it's like the guy hadn't screwed it in all the way, so it wasn't straight. It was like as if it was kind of like broken and like it could barely like hold itself up.
Maybe it did actually break because we know it's a prop.
And I know it had fallen to the floor, but like y'all didn't see that and be like, hold up, and like have a backup to fix. Like what?
I don't know. But
that
was just silly.
Come on.
Okay, and then I had a second comedy moment of the week back in Port Charles.
Yes.
Obrecht always brings the giggles or the sass.
She does.
And this time she brought the giggles when she was talking to Carly because Carly evicted her from the Metro Court at Lulu's insistence.
She did.
And so Obrecht is like, no, but I'm not trying to cause any problems. I just want to get to know the boy. I want to let him know about my daughter. And she's like, you know what? Anna can vouch for me, where Anna's across the room talking to Brennan. And my girl is like, yoo-hoo, Anna. It made me think.
It's like
it made me think of Hoodwinked. The axe
guy. Yeah. I still don't know
where lumberjack.
I still don't know where my DVDs are for that, and it bugs me because
they're around. Don't worry.
But anyway, the way you just said it just now is like,
woohoo, Big summer blowout?
Exactly. Oh, but that's from Frozen.
Yes.
Which was the other thing I was thinking. So that just made me laugh. That gave me the giggles. Okay. Continuing down the list. Make it make sense is where I'm going to go now.
Oh, okay.
GH. Silver plate. AKA s'il vous plaît.
Okay.
Stupid plot points. Really? Can like, I know you're trying to drive the storyline forward, but could you do it like a little bit more integrally and sensibly? Why did the ADA go to Sunny's house to apologize in the middle of the night? You couldn't keep that till you ran into him in the street, send him a note. I mean, I understand it's the plot point.
I was about to say.
That's what I'm saying. It's a stupid plot point.
But also,
we needed the ADA at Sunny's house to hear Drew, the congressman, trying to blackmail Sunny.
Right. We also needed her there to see a different side of Sunny and kind of...
Listen, I'm telling you, those two are going to end up in bed because Sunny has a history of betting the DAs.
I am not doubting you. I believe you. I just don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it either. Go with your real life husband Sidwell and be done.
That's what I find hilarious. It's probably they're filming and Sidwell's probably just standing there like this, just watching the scene happen.
So that was stupid plot point number 1. I just really, that was much. It was much. What happened to you?
Sorry, it made for some reason. The thought of Sidwell just standing with his arms crossed as he watches his wife act with Sunny, for some reason made me think of when I was watching The Rookie and he opened the door and we're just like, Sidwell!
That took you long. I was like, yeah, for real. Okay, plot point number 2, stupid plot point number 2, Isaiah wanting to intervene in Portia's relationship. It's kind of like, who called for that? Make it make sense. What's it to do with you? You know, I recognize what you either he and Portia are going to end up in bed. What? Sorry.
It's the shapes. The shapes throw me off.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not trying to scare you.
Don't have me screaming on the podcast because there's a spider over my head.
No, it is honestly just the shapes.
Right? So anyways, those are 2 stupid plot points. Try to make them flow in the story.
Right, and I also understand, it's like, yes, Jordan is your ex, and, you know, now knowing that she was married to your boss's husband, your boss's husband, is kind of just like, but, like, move on.
Yeah, seriously. And not with Portia. I mean...
No, because that's going to be hilarious, though. It's like Portia thinks Jordan's going to be the problem, but it's really going to be her ending up in bed with Isaiah.
Well, you know what? It's looking like they're going to make some kind of a love square or something like that. I don't think it's going to be a triangle because this pairing that you're trying to force back with Jordan and Curtis, no, come on. Find another character. Seriously. Have Curtis hook up with the ADA.
Oh!
I know, but I'm just saying. Right? Have Curtis hook up with Nina. Whatever. Just not back with Jordan. Come on. So there was that. Delulu of the week. It's a bit Delulu of the week and Kesakaka. I'm gonna go with both opposite sides of the coin.
I just had my Kesakaka. Is Lulu for discovering that, you know, she's like, oh, we cannot take Outback. Too much work. We don't have time. But then proceeds to find out that Liesel would be willing to take Outback if she wasn't at the hotel. And then it's like...
The hotel that she just had her put out of.
Right?
So wonder like, Obrecht didn't just go buy a house.
I was like, oh? You know what, Draco? We can take her. We're gonna take Outback. It's like...
She is so petty and so messy.
I'm like, Obrecht, Brooklyn, I think y'all need to team up to take Lulu out. Because I cannot.
Nope.
With this woman.
Seriously.
As I'm like, I still think she is a good recast, but right now, just the foolishness is just like...
It's too much.
It is too much.
It is too much. Okay, so my Kesakaka and my Delulu of the week are 2 sides of the same coin. The Kesakaka, we talked about earlier. Drew talked about he's having Danny arrested. Like, could you be more ridiculous?
Right.
Really and truly. And then the Delulu side of that, Danny honestly didn't think Drew was gonna have him arrested. Like, Danny, have you been paying any kind of attention?
I'm like,
Best believe Jason was like, no duh.
right? It's like, you, like, I get she's your sister, but I think it was even stated, it's like, the only, yeah, Drew said, it's like, the only people who are allowed to sign her out are me and Willow, which now Willow should be taken off that list of acceptable people because you ain't getting mad at Willow.
Doesn't matter. He's gonna leave her. But yeah, it wasn't even about the sign out list. It was just that, has Danny not been witness to all the mess that Drew has been doing, and he thinks
I guess not.
that because he's a young kid or whatever, he's immune. No, Danny. No.
No.
You know, and Jason called it out. Although I don't even think that's the only reason. But Jason called it out. It's like, he wants to hurt me. You're my kid. Fastest way to get to me.
Right?
I think Drew's just nasty and spiteful, whether he was your kid or whether he wasn't.
And
I think
actually,
he would have done it anyhow.
And actually, now I'm wondering. I'm like, actually, no. Because I was going to be like, I'm wondering if this was always, like, the true side of Drew, even before he, you know, got kicked upside the head, and just him getting kicked upside the head just really just brought it forward. But I'm like, no, because I would be really sad if they had gone this way, if they hadn't recast Drew with him.
Well, now, to your point, I think if Billy Miller were still playing Drew, and Drew had become this nasty, I think it'd be more interesting.
Fair enough.
And maybe that's my problem. Because I just so don't like Cameron Matheson as an actor.
It's just...
If it just adds on, it just multiplies
the dislike for Drew.
Yeah. I'm not sure that it does, but...
It's just sad, because it's like, we loved him when it was the early him, and then he got recast, and it's like... Ugh.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, just sometimes recasts just don't work, so, you know.
You know, I know people need to work. I know they need their jobs and what have you, but...
And you had said, it's like, don't do it to this man after his house burned down, but at this point, I'm just like, the man has money. Just...
Seriously.
Take him out.
You know, I think... Actually, I think I would appreciate Drew more as smarmy Ezra Boyle.
I'm sorry.
Flip the actors. Make Ezra Drew and make Drew Ezra.
No.
No? Okay.
I think Ezra's doing a fine job.
He is doing a fine job. But we don't see him very often.
No, so... and that's good, because I don't need to see him all the time. That's I'm okay with that.
All right. Fair enough. All right, let's jump into... what have I skipped over? Villain, hero, and make it sassy?
Yeah. So, villain, obviously, Drew, and his foolishness, and bibochities, and his shadiness.
Yep.
Anyone else for you? Or was
yes, my villain of the week is Lucas. Because I think Lucas was so out of order, telling Willow she's not doing enough, and she needs to this, and she needs to that, and she needs to the next, as far as Drew is concerned. I'm like, Lucas, you need to check yourself.
There was something.
Who are you?
There was something that was said between Lucas and Elizabeth, and I think...
Lucas and Elizabeth or Lucas and Willow?
No, Lucas and Elizabeth, because Elizabeth had gone to talk to Lucas about the HR thing, or at least writing a report, and they were talking about it, and I don't remember specifically what was said, but I think Elizabeth was like, what more could she do? She's doing everything she needs to get her kids back, and I'm like, therapy for one! Because no one, like,
absolutely.
Really, no one has said, Willow, you have got, like, with the trauma that you have gotten with losing your kids and this trial and, you know, again, dawn of day, maybe you should go to, and also Drew and his manipulation, maybe you should go to therapy. I think that'll also help your case because the judge will see you're getting help. No one has said that.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's one of the obvious answers.
Yep.
It's like, Christina, she's in therapy. It ain't helping her. But it's different.
Absolutely.
Because Christina just crazy. You, Christine, I don't know what is up with Christina and her crazy. But you, Willow, you're crazy for a whole other reason. And it was for reasons outside of your control.
Yes, absolutely.
So, your crazy, Willow, has been ingrained in you since you were a babe. Christina, not so much.
Yeah.
So you have an excuse. Go get help.
So, Lucas was my villain of the week.
Okay.
For that reason.
All right. Hero of the week.
Oh, I get to go first?
Yes.
All right. Let's flip the coin. Lucas. for telling Drew to step off when he first showed up at the hospital. He tried to help Willow.
He did.
He was running interference even as he had been angry with her for so long.
He was.
But I appreciated that he made the effort, in case Willow was struggling.
Right.
To get rid of him.
Right. My hero of the week, Tracy.
Hey.
Because she was at the pool, the Metrocorp pool, not the Coeur d'Alene pool. And Cody showed up. And Cody was looking snazzy because he had a date with Ava. And so he's telling this to Tracy. And Tracy's like, why? And he's like, because I'm getting paid too. And she's like, what is going on? And so they're talking. And Cody's basically like, I am not as good of a guy as you think I am. And Tracy basically just reads him the right act in a very calm voice. And it's like,
how awesome are you? Let me count the ways.
Right. It's like, Cody, you are amazing with the horses and the kids and James and this and
you
that. You
saved James from drowning. Yeah.
Yep.
You
she didn't say it
for me.
She didn't say it, but you broke out your cousin from a mental institution. Mental.
Do you want to say that with the right words?
You broke your cousin out of a mental institution.
Hey.
There we go. And she was, and you know what? Yeah, Cody, you are a good guy.
Yes.
Like, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Yes, you have made mistakes. Everybody does. I have made my fair share, but that does not change the fact that you are a good guy. And I appreciate Tracy for telling him that. And I hope that one day he comes to believe it. Sorry, it was a reflex.
What is happening?
That was a reflex.
My goodness, reflex after the podcast. Oh, I think I want to leave that in. My girl's cracking her knuckles in the middle of the podcast. What is happening?
Because I was doing something and it hurt. And I was like, this does not feel right. So I cracked my knuckles. It was a total reflex.
You can go get some chiropractic therapy at your own time. Okay. Now, completely randomness, since you mentioned Cody and it just popped into my head. So Cody, unfortunately, because I love him and I want to see more of him, but unfortunately he just went to recurring status or rather than being on contract because he's working on some side projects and he wants to make sure to have time
to do them
and also, give his best self at GH. And these are movies that he's making with his real life girlfriend who happens to be Nell. He's dating Chloe Lanier or Lanier. I'm not sure how she pronounces her last name. So they're working together.
But for those of you who are worried, don't be, because Cody has said, even though it was a joke, he said, I do not intend to leave until Cody and Tracy are dating.
Right? Oh my gosh. Whew. Okay, let's leave that one alone. Okay, so we did villain, we did hero. Let's wrap up with what we should consistently wrap up with, since it's soaps and sass. Make it sassy. I'm going to go first because you snaked my sass right at the beginning of the podcast. I said I was leaving the story till later, but it was exactly what you said where Willow and Drew were speaking, and Drew's like, oh, I finally found you. And she, exactly as you said, and snarky as you said it, yes, of course you would find me at the place where I work. Where else would I be? So there was that.
Yes.
Your sassy was in the same scene.
My sassy was in the same scene. Drew is walking up to the nurse's station, or he's at the nurse's station, and this nurse just walks by, and she catches sight of Drew, and she gives a
bombastic side eye.
If I've ever seen one, and proceeds to keep going. I said, my girl, that was...
We both clocked that. That was awesome.
I feel like she transferred from the Beyond the Gates set.
Absolutely.
Because these background actors can't give no sass, no acting for no joke of... No word of lie. They can't do it. The General Hospital background actors can't do jack.
No, but this girl, she delivered.
Oh my goodness. If you want some good background acting, I'm sorry, you need to go watch the Beyond the Gates background actors, because they can react.
They can.
Like, I don't even know if I'm sure the directors have like, this is the direction, this is the scene that's about to play out, react accordingly. And they just, black people as how we react accordingly. But no.
Oh man, it was good. It was good. Okay, predictions.
Well, technically last week's prediction on how Britt, Jason, and Joss would all connect each other did not happen, but you know what? Eyes were locked upon, side profiles were locked upon, so I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm satisfied with how that played out. I just thought it was really cheap to just have Jason and Brooke just kind of pass by and be like, Hey, but okay.
And on his first day, his first night,
First minute. Oh my god.
it hadn't even been like 2 days, and be like, I've been looking and I can't find. Oh, there she is. No. Literally, the man has been at the resort for only a few hours, and lo and behold, she comes to Colin.
Yep.
She sensed the disturbance in the force and went to go find out what it was, and she's like, "Oh, my past lover."
Indeed.
That's the disturbance.
All right, my prediction. We're starting to see this, and I'm not liking it. Willow and Chase.
Yeah, no.
It's sort of kind of looking like Willow and Chase are gonna hook up again. Brooklyn, get your man, sort yourself out, hold on to your man. He loves you. Don't mess that up.
No.
And Willow's got her new puppet master.
Again.
It's like Chase, tell me what to do and I'll do it.
And it's like,
knock it off, Willow. Knock it off.
Again, therapy.
Yes,
And because
absolutely.
if you were in therapy, you wouldn't do this.
Yep. For sure.
Another prediction, I think. I don't know how long it'll take, but it's like the question is, how long will it take for the Davis women to be like, okay, no, we're not letting this happen. We are fighting for custody of this child.
I'm not sure that's going to play out. I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but I'll keep watching this channel.
Well, here's the thing, because I'm like, now that the ADA has heard something, maybe she'll go and tell Molly, because,
Oh, maybe.
So maybe Molly will use that.
Yeah, because they do seem to have a good relationship.
Yeah, so she'll tell Molly. Molly will tell Alexis, and they'll figure that out. And then again, they have their whole laundry list of things that they could, prove or bring up in the court. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Interesting, that one. And how long do you think it's going to take before... I'm not sure if Maxie's going to actually tell Mac, or Sidwell's going to now use what he knows against.
I think he might use it. Or at least Sidwell might use the judge thing against Sonny.
No, I'm not talking about that. That's
the information on Maxie and then Mac thing, he might... He based off what James said, is like, oh, she called Grandpa to have a conversation, so he might assume that she already told him.
Yeah,
because it was an important conversation, so he might already assume that.
Yeah, and Sidwell, man, you're not Drew level, but that was smarmy. Surprisingly useful information from a child. Like, come on, man.
See, children have no filter. What do you mean?
No, agreed. Gotta teach our kids not to talk so much. But anyway, but yeah. So that's what I'm wondering. And really, they gotta figure out Lucy with her loose lips. I mean, it's a little ridiculous. So we gotta deal with Lucy as well. But anyhow.
I agree.
All right.
This is also a prediction, because this is going to come up in the next few weeks, is Gio, Brooklyn, and Dante, and how that's going to go. Because Dante and Brooklyn have decided that they're going to actually do something and actually make an effort with Gio. And then Michael was telling Gio, you got to kind of figure things out, or else you're going to...
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm curious as to how that's going to play out.
Right. I was a little hesitant, and I think I tensed when this happened, because Donna had shown up at the pool for her swim lesson, and she sees Gio, and she's like, so you remember my birthday party and how you promised to play the violin? I was like, oh. I don't know how... Sweetheart,
and that's in September.
Right, I'm like, sweetheart, he might cancel on that part, because he ain't playing no violin.
Well, I mean, that's what he said. He said he's not going to play the violin, but he'll be at her party.
I'm also wondering how the kids didn't know about that whole fiasco, because I'm like, they were the last people to go on.
Yeah, but they weren't on stage when it happened.
No, but I would figure they would have watched the performances, well, at least some of the performances, by having like a TV in the room or something. Because I don't think they're going to have them practicing the whole time.
No, they would have them playing games to keep them from getting bored.
Right. And I would also assume it's like, maybe, you're going to have the TV on so they can see the performances.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But, yeah. So there is that. But speaking of Gio and Brooklyn and Dante, I'm just wondering, when is Dante going to become a little bit self-aware and recognize that he actually needs to apologize to Gio? Because he
reamed him out.
Yeah, reamed him out, told him he was basically useless. And everybody's told him about it, and he's like, yeah, I did do that.
I feel like he gave him an apology, but it was like half-assed, and it wasn't real, like, it was kind of like, yeah. Like,
did he?
I don't know. I feel so, but I could be very wrong.
I don't know that he got the opportunity to, because again, Gio found out, and the Gio's like, I don't want to talk to you. And I don't know that anybody's told Dante that Dante thinks Gio is useless.
No.
I don't think that information has gone back to Dante. I don't think Dante's remotely aware of it.
No.
So, that's the thing that's keeping Gio from building a relationship with Dante. I think Brooklyn's going to have better success than Dante will.
Probably. But I'm like, I will say good on Rocco for actually bringing up that conversation, being like, I thanked Brooklyn for her revealing that. And Gio's just like, that changes nothing. It's like, I appreciate that you feel grateful to her for that, but she still technically hurt you. She hurt your parents. And she's done other things. And I do also appreciate Sonny being like, look, like, I get you're still hurt and everything, but, you know, teenagers, idiocy, mistakes, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, I get it, but still. Yeah.
And I do think, just so we're going off on another subject, but anyway, but I do think that Dante and Brooklyn were right, or Dante was right in saying, you know, the more we give him space, the more opportunity it gives him to build the wall.
Right.
Because I was thinking something similar when Brooklyn showed up at the pool, and Gio was like, what are you doing here?
Right. That was kind of like,
he just came on aggressive off the hop.
I'm like, and she's like, it's a public space, and
she's like, I'm here to do business. I work in the building.
Right. It's like,
I'm going to meet my business partner. And then she walked away. And to me, that just reinforces, it's like, oh, so you don't even want to take the time to talk to me then?
No.
And I think that's a mistake.
Right. But yeah, he came off too hard. It's just she's here for, it's like the same with Dante. It's like, your brother works here. He's not here for you. Or... Yeah,
but Dante doesn't come away like...
No, I know. I know, but it's clear she's like, yes, I am aware you work here. I'm not stalking you or looking for you. Like, it just happened that we ran into each other at this moment.
And how would I know your work schedule? You don't tell me nothing, so...
Yeah, it's like, you're not talking to me. How am I supposed to know when you're working?
Yeah. So... All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, y'all. So that's a wrap for today. That's a sass wrap.
That's all it's fin to print. So
come back next week for a little more soap.
And hopefully a heck of a lot more sass. Now that Stella's kind of getting...
Yo, Stella getting locked up! Hey!
I don't want to be like Stella getting arrested, but really they didn't arrest her. They just asked to speak with her. So, you know. But anyway, we'll talk about that next week when we have more details on that situation with Stella. Bye!
Can you talk any faster? Have a great week, y'all.